Hey guys, this is just a quick reply to Craig Mason and his Reasonable Conversation channel. I like Craig, I think he's got a lot of good things to say, and his recent talk about Trump versus the stock market and inflation of the dollar was spot on in my opinion. And he's got good things to say about the whole Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Core debate. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about some of the coin recommendations, or not recommendations, but coins that Craig is interested in buying. And first of all, he was talking about IOTA. So it was a very small position, but my feeling about IOTA is it doesn't really compare to Byteball in terms of the technology. Byteball is currently 80 times cheaper or 70 times cheaper than IOTA. And the problem with IOTA is it has a thing called a coordinator running, which is many people say that they can't really remove the coordinator because it would then become vulnerable to a 33% attack. IOTA uses proof of work, whereas Byteball doesn't. Byteball has transaction fees that pay for the network to function. IOTA uses proof of work, so your devices are going to actually mine the transactions. That's why it's free, whereas Byteball has very, very small transaction costs. But so the thing is, I don't think transaction costs matter as much for DAG technology because the transaction where transaction costs matter is when you're going to be building big networks on top of the infrastructure like EOS. So EOS has to have free transaction costs because you can give a thumbs up on Facebook with one transaction on EOS. You don't want to have to pay for it. So IOTA doesn't really need to have free transactions because it's not going to be the Internet of Things. It's going to be it could potentially be a good payment mechanism, but it's not going to be the Internet of Things, and they're kidding themselves on. And the thing is that by calling themselves that, they're just more scamming. And when you look into the IOTA team, you can get a real sense that they're just really getting a bunch of shill sock puppets to sing their song out far and wide, and they've got really bad distribution. The ICO basically left them and left the guys, the team on IOTA, in control of around about 50% of the stock. And is it likely that they're going to dump $5 billion worth of that coin in the coming, or maybe more if the price goes up? It's very likely, and they're not trying to dress it by. They're not trying to dress it, so you're just making a bunch of people very, very rich by buying IOTA, and it looks like it will come crashing down at some point. Will the technology function? Maybe, maybe not. It's certainly not as good as Byteball's technology. But the thing is, this coordinator may never be able to come off because, first of all, the distribution is very bad, and secondly, the proof of work version of DAG may not function. So the Byteball is only problem it has is really distribution problems. They tried to give it to Bitcoin holders for free, and then they've got other methods of distribution now, but it's still 50% is being held by the guy who made Byteball, and he's trying to distribute it. I trust the guy. I don't think he's a scammer like the IOTA team are, and he. Yeah, I can't remember what else I was going to say, but it's very interesting to compare Byteball and IOTA because they're almost the same kind of project, but the IOTA team is censoring the hell out of anyone who mentions Byteball on their forums. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Monero, you said you were interested in Monero as a I guess like a small hedge against Dash or something. Monero is interesting because it's really, really good technology, very, very good team, very fair distribution. The trouble is that they can't really prove, they had an issue where there was coins being printed, and there's no real way to audit the system for fake coins. So bad actors in the development team could, in theory, print themselves a lot of money without it being able to be noticed by anybody. So it's not a deal killer for me. I could still invest in Monero. and I intend to if it's cheap. It's just a bit of a concern. Dash. My concern with Dash is that when they mine in the first seconds of mining, they mine like 500 coins a second for themselves. You know, they've got the people behind Dash have a huge holding, and it may not look entirely like that on the Block Explorer, but there is the people who started Dash have a lot of it, so the distribution isn't as fair as it was with Monero. EOS, that's my coin, that's the one I'm buying lots of, so there you can see my distribution on the coins I'm hodling, EOS, Blocknet, Byteball and Cardano. 6 month holds, Salt and Solaris. Solaris is an interesting zero coin, masternodes coin, which is probably going to get pumped soon. Buy low, sell high, I'm interested in Zcoin. I like zero coin much more than I do the other methods of privacy, like Zcash, zero cash with Zcash. I like Nexus, even though I don't believe satellites exist. And Bitcoin Cash is going to be interesting to see what happens with it. Litecoin, mentioned Litecoin, I just think it's a load of nonsense with SegWit and the Lightning Network, and there's just no need for this nonsense, and the solutions have to come from things which don't involve difficult technology that has difficulty communicating with the blocks when they get full. Because when you have full blocks with a Lightning Network, it's not going to function, which is going to be the problem with Bitcoin. Litecoin will be okay because it's never going to have the kind of adoption that's going to make it a problem for the network, the Lightning Network. But with Bitcoin, the Lightning Network won't really ever function because it's always going to be trying to jump onto full blocks, and you'll end up with you can potentially end up with bad actors as well, which use that as a way to have double spends. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm not a fan of Lightning or SegWit. The request network, I just wouldn't put my money in anything that's related to Ethereum. Ethereum's dead, and it's gonna, the kitty cats have proved that. It's just a load of nonsense, Ethereum. So investing in anything related to Ethereum, I think, is long term going to cause a problem. Although there's still a lot of people who don't know that, and you could make a quick buck on this thing. I just don't tend to invest in anything that I don't believe in long term, because there's so much options, and there are so many good long term coins that to invest in all the other stuff is too dangerous, because it can go to zero. And whereas if you invest in long term stuff, then you're always going to get a pump back in a few years later or whatever. Zcash, it uses zero cash technology, and zero cash, although it was developed by the same team later than Zerocoin, Zerocoin is much better, and the way that they burn coins in Zerocoin, it's actually coin that becomes private, rather than I'm not actually too sure. I'm not technical enough to know this, but Zcash, basically you can't audit the system, whereas Zerocoin is a full audit of the system. You can see exactly how many coins are in circulation. And also Zcash has a funny thing with giving like 20% of the mined coins to the founding team without really any democratic processes and how that's to be spent. So I don't like Zcash. Yeah. So that's just my quick thoughts, Craig, and I'd love to come on your channel and talk about Flat Earth with you if you want. That would be fun. And if not, then I fully understand. But I hope you find these comments interesting, and if you don't want the comment to be in your, if I don't want my videos comment to be on your channel, you can just delete it. So no problem with that. Thanks a lot, and keep the content coming. Bye bye.